All right, guys, what's going on? It's Jack, and welcome back. So, in this one, I wanted to first and foremost have a little discussion about the subject that everybody, not just in Call of Duty, but in Battle Royale and just gaming in general, is talking about, and that's Warzone. And I've watched a good amount of it tonight, or should I say last night, because right now it is almost 5:30 in the morning as I'm recording this. First of all, I want to say that I'm actually very pleased for the Battle Royale community. I'm actually very happy that they're happy with it. And at the same time, I'm also happy that Infinity Ward, according to Drifter's video, when they got called in, they gave feedback to the developers. And according to Drifter, they actually did what they actually paid attention to that feedback and actually applied it to the Battle Royale. So it was kind of shocking when you take into account in terms of the way they treated the multiplayer. Or should I say the traditional multiplayer, because Battle Royale is multiplayer, but it's just a different version of it. So I'm actually very pleased that everybody, like pretty much everybody that I've seen, either on social media or YouTube, Twitter, everything, you name it, everybody, even the gold cock himself, 8 Thoughts, basically agrees that this game is actually very solid. And a lot of players are saying that it's better than Blackout. So there's going to be, I guess there's solos and duos coming. They're not in existence right now, but I guess they're coming. So now I apologize for not having any gameplay of that here, but for those of you guys that have been here around in my channel long enough, would pretty much expect as such, because you guys would know right about now that Battle Royale is not really my cup of tea because it just plays too slow, and you guys know how I am. There needs to be constant action going on, and the type of action that Battle Royale provides is just not my cup of tea, but I respect the living hell out of it because it's very popular, and at the same time, I see what some of the players out there are doing and stuff like that, and it's a lot of fun to watch. In terms of watching, I actually have fun watching it. Like, I watch some of my favorite players, like I saw Pwn Stars on stream playing it earlier or whatnot. Everybody's pretty much playing it, so I'm just one of those few people where it's really not my cup of tea. There's a part of me that wants to play it, but at the same time, I know that it's just not going to work out for me, because it's like I'm even watching it like consistently before I started making this video. It's just too slow. There's a lot of downtime in between. So, and that kind of excitement of the things that could happen, or when you're trying to scope out for other teams, or scavenging loot and stuff like that, it just really isn't my cup of tea. I mean, look at my gameplay over here. I mean, I like to run and shoot shit constantly. So I guess I'm still waiting for my fantasy game to come out, like basically what you see here, but amplified to a great extent. Like, it's kind of like Battle Royale, but with a whole different set of rules that truly combines the Battle Royale size and scale, but amplifies like what you see here in the gameplay even more, to where, like, I mean, some people have said I'm describing Battlefield, but it's actually not. It's kind of like it's like a different beast in and of itself. I mean, there's not really as much originality when it comes to gaming anymore, because you've got your RPGs, you got your first-person shooters, you got your Battle Royale games, you got mixes and hybrids of games in between. And with that being said, I wanted to transition into a subject that I think is very important to us Call of Duty players, as well as for those players that enjoy the fast-paced traditional arcade first-person shooter, because there's a lot of evidence throughout history. We're talking the present, we're talking the past, and we're talking the possible future as well, in terms of what's popular and what's not. And as you guys know, whatever is popular is what's going to survive. It's kind of like YouTube. If you're not popular on YouTube to a certain extent, you're just not going to survive. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. It is what it is. So the same thing applies to gaming. Whatever is not popular is just not going to survive. Like, for instance, as you guys already know, Call of Duty has Quake DNA in its blood. The engine is a constant reworked version of the Quake engine. So I guess that's part of the reason why I like it so much. But if you look at Quake and the way that plays, it really is like an arcadey, really fast paced. There's like no camping. It's all movement based, and there's constant shooting and action going on. It's absolutely wild. And with Call of Duty, it's kind of like a modified version of that. So if you think about it, like if you look at what Modern Warfare is in terms of the traditional multiplayer, it's got the DNA of a Call of Duty game in it, but it doesn't exactly play like that, which is the reason why, one part of the reason why I'm not playing it. So, and that is basically because of the decisions that they've made and the changes that they've implemented, or the things that they're not doing with the game to change the way it plays. So with that being said, do you guys think that games like this, or games that came previously to this game, whether they're boots on the ground or advanced movement, because Call of Duty, as you guys know, has taken pretty much every single direction you can think of. So when you put everything into account, do you think we're going through yet another evolution or de-evolution or change in terms of what the arcade first-person shooter is, to where it's basically not going to be the same anymore because of the way it's going to end up playing? I mean, in other words, what I'm trying to ask here is the arcade first-person shooter game dying or dead at this point? Because, you know, and it's not just because of the population of and the success of Battle Royale. There's more to it than that, and there's even different games that have become popular now. I mean, for instance, everybody knows how popular Battle Royale is, and that's why Call of Duty has put its hand into the mix, because they want to be a part of that. They want a piece of the money. They want a piece of the pot, so to speak, right? They want a piece of that success. Can you blame them? No. I mean, that's how business works. That's how it is. What it is, guys. So the thing is, there are games like Rainbow Six Siege that are very, very popular. I mean, the thing is, let's realize one fact here. If Activision and company and the developers know that their game is going to be more popular if they change it to such and such, right? And they make these kind of changes, right? Trust me when I tell you, they will do it, and they will care less about the people that prefer a different type of game, even if that type of gameplay is more fun, right? If they know that it's more popular to have a much slower, much tactical paced shooter, like let's say a Rainbow Six Siege, but a different version of that, they will do it. So for those of us that really like aggressive play styles, I have this feeling, and again, I'm not being pessimistic, I'm kind of doing like an analysis, which is one of the reasons why I made this video, is so that way I can get your perspective as well. I get this feeling that games that play as aggressive as, like, let's say this one, are gonna be there's gonna be few, there's not gonna be that many of them anymore, if at all. I mean, if at all, because of the popularity of what people prefer to play nowadays. And like I mentioned a few minutes ago, whatever is popular is going to survive, and whatever is not just won't. Like, it breaks my heart that games like Quake Champions are actually not that popular, or Unreal Tournament. I don't know what's going on with Unreal Tournament. I haven't seen anything in a while in that game. But the thing is, those games, like for instance, like take Quake for example. Even when it went free to play or whatnot. I mean, I think it is free to play, but even when they expanded upon that, the game itself was still very dead. It was like, at first it was alive and well, and then not too much longer later it was dead. And part of the reason for that is also because it is a highly competitive game. It is, let's put it this way, it is a lot, and I'm not being biased here, I'm just being realistic. For you to be a passive player and succeed, it's actually a lot easier, because all you need is patience. There's very little going on in between all that. Like, but when you're rushing, you have to consider of who might be there. You have to worry about spawns a lot more. You have to, everything is pretty much, the speed is increased. So therefore you need to think a lot faster and on your feet, and even react to. Whereas if you're posted behind something like in Rainbow Six Siege, and you're at a certain position to where if anybody, you're like peeking through a crack, and if somebody even walks through that door or whatnot, wham bam, you take them down. You know, you just sit there and you wait. You're already in position. All you got to do is pull the trigger. But when you're running around and you're shooting things, there's a whole bunch of other things that are happening simultaneously, and at the same time, it ups the speed of the game, and therefore upping the thought process and decision making that you have to do. So, and I mean this with all respect, of course, to all players. These are pretty much the facts. So the thing is, for that type of style of game, to where everything is a lot faster, like this one here, and I guess the majority of the players can't handle it as easily, which is why they've implemented things like skill-based matchmaking and team balancing and all that kind of shit. And the games, this like Black Ops 4 is the fastest version of a boots on the ground Call of Duty that we've gotten, believe it or not. I think it's even faster than Black Ops 3 at its base movement. So Black Ops 3 was fast. I mean, Infinite Warfare was fast as well, but overall, I'd say Black Ops 4 is probably the fastest, if not tied with Infinite Warfare. So the thing is, and a lot of casual players can't handle that. Even some veterans that are really good at Call of Duty didn't like it because of that reason, because it was just way too damn fast. So the tricky part, I guess, is finding that sweet spot, but at the same time, that sweet spot when it comes to corporate interest in business isn't necessarily always what the player prefers. It's what will make more money, or you know what I mean? So, and they don't always go hand in hand. So, but thank goodness they had Battle Royale for Modern Warfare, because people are having trouble finding lobbies in traditional multiplayer in that game, even though it's cross-play and all that kind of stuff. And according to Activision, they have the highest player count ever. So, which, again, I think there's some bullshit thrown in there, but that's just me. But the thing is that when you put everything into account, it really raises the question, is this type of aggressive type of game that's an arcade first-person shooter, is this kind of genre of game becoming obsolete? Is it dying? Is it already dead? Are we not going to see games like this ever again? Will the next Call of Duty Black Ops game or Black Ops reboot be so much slower and tactical and all about posting up and stuff like that? Will it be like a version of Modern Warfare but called Black Ops, with the Black Ops skin over it, so to speak? But will it play like a traditional Black Ops? That's the big question, and that has yet to be answered. And I think within a month or so, we will find out exactly what they have in store for us in terms of title. And I don't know. God knows what's going to happen with gameplay or whatnot. E3 has just been canceled, so I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm sure they'll figure out something. But yeah, guys, I want to know your perspectives and your opinions on this. What do you think? And of course, what do you think about Warzone, Battle Royale, and all that kind of stuff? Let everything be known down in the comments section. I'm always very curious to hear what you guys have to say and your perspectives as well, because you guys are a part of the community, and not every single one of us is the same. We can have our similarities, but everybody's opinions and everybody's experiences are a little bit different here and there, and that's what makes the difference, and that's what makes us the community that we are today. So let me know. I'm really curious to find out. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.